Hello. Welcome to another Barrel House Live. I think I even started that on time. Look at that. Pro level streamer. That's what I am. You can tell because I'm so good at this. Am I amazing on surround sound? Surround sound! As you typed it in lots of caps. I think loud is better than too quiet to hear, I guess. I don't know. I'm living my extra healthy life here with caffeine and whiskey. And before we get too far in, is my voice in all the channels like it should be, Jonesy? Or am I one-sided again? I think everything's fixed, but I am on a different computer now. I'll take it. I'll take it. Take all the likes. Am I too loud? Should I fix the loud? All right. Good. Good. I would crank me up too. I would crank you up. Who doesn't want to be cranked up? Kara, what's up? How you doing? I don't know, Jonesy. What's it worth to you? That sucks, Kara. Hopefully, not the worst week. I'm all right. I'm alive. I'm living. I think we could probably. I think we can probably make that happen, Jonesy. Just because you alerted me to my poor Patreon linking, which, by the way, everybody, the Patreon now exists, so you can get that at patreon.com/barrelhouse. I I made you a moderator, Chris. I don't know why it's You're not blue yet. I did it already. You should be blue with your little wrench, but it's not there. But when I click on your name, it says you're a moderator, so that sucks. That can't feel good. That can't feel good at all. I've never had my jaw pop out of place, I don't think. It's possible maybe once or something, but not like enough times for it. Hey, there it is. I gotta stop jamming. I'm jamming to this music more than I should be. Yeah, certainly never enough of jaw popping to leave a impression, a lasting impression. I imagine it's a terrible feeling. Mike occasionally shows up. Once in a while, he does the thing. So we'll see how tonight goes. My plan for the night is to do a cask strength bourbon face-off with some of these cask strength bourbons over here, because I had the kind of week that makes you want to drink cask strength whiskey. Hey, Jeff! How's it going, man? This is a fine way. This is a fine companion to Olympic wrestling qualifiers. What's everyone drinking tonight? Yeah, you liked... Which ones did you grab, Jeff? I'm glad you liked them. This Calumet Farm 14 single rack is really good. It's a good ass bottle. And this is my warmer up. This is my warm up whiskey. Deltuan, I said hi and give him all of the shit for having one beer. And don't let that actually happen. Do not let that actually happen. Also have fun. That's not the open. That's not the open one. That's the open one. We're gonna have to go reasonably sized with these pours because I got a lot of cask strength up here, which is a recipe for a terrible night, so we don't want to do that, do we? Yeah, that Old Forester, man, they really, everything they do is good. I'm loving that whole product line, that whole Whiskey Row line. I think I recommended a couple of different ones. It's hard for me to tell. I don't remember. I recommend so many whiskeys to so many different people. Terrible at remembering. good, man. I had like, I was gonna talk about this on the next episode, but I'll talk about it here a little bit too. I had my first like real live in person down in the Barrel House bar area whiskey tasting with a couple of friends in a long time. Like, it's been quite a while since I had like a real ass whiskey conversation night, with the Rona and all that. And man, it felt so good. It felt so good to just like, so I've already had it, so I don't really have the risk. And my friend and her boyfriend came, so like they live together, so there's not really a risk there. So we were pretty careful that way. And it was just so good to just have in-person whiskey conversation. I feel like it had been so long. I mean, it had been so long. It had been a really long time, but I missed it. I missed it a lot. All right. My palate feels warmed. I have warmed it sufficiently. What was I gonna do? I even wrote down ideas here. I'm gonna do the Bellmead Reserve, which isn't fully cask strength, but it's pretty close. The Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. The Elijah Craig barrel proof. And I was gonna do the Litchfield and 1792 full proof. And we're gonna be going easy on these pours. We're gonna be using a dump glass. We're gonna A/B them until we get to like brackets. We're gonna do brackets here. I'm gonna start with the Bellmead and the Jack. Oh. That Bellmead smells really good. I swear, if you smell a slightly sweeter whiskey before you smell anything from Jack, all it smells like to me is salted peanuts. It's just salted peanuts. After this. I mean, if you go straight to the Jack, it's definitely got like other stuff going on. Bellmead's really good. So every time I reach out, I come back with something different in my hand to drink. The Jack always tastes, man. Whew. That has got some pepper on it, man. Jack always comes off, the high proof Jacks always come off way hotter than other whiskeys in the same range do, to me anyway. Like they really cook. What is this? I mean, it is high proof. It's 66.8, but man, it's on fire. Yeah, it's like Jeff is saying, he agrees with the high proof Jack burn. Like I have a couple other whiskeys here that are right in that wheelhouse. You know, this is 63, 61, 62. There's one over there that's 64. And they just do not have the same heat as the high proof Jack. The high proof Jack comes out hot. Like it's not. I swear it's probably, I'll bet you, I'd be curious. Off the top of my head, I couldn't say this for sure because I haven't really ever compared it. But I wonder if I went and got a different cask strength, like high 60s Tennessee whiskey that wasn't from Jack, if it would have the same burn. I wonder if that's like part of the a side effect of the high proof mixed with the Lincoln County process. I'll bet you it is. I'll bet it is. I'll bet that extra filtration run pulls off some oil or something that helps tamp down the heat. I bet it is. Because there's nothing smooth about that. I'm going to say the Belle Meade moves on and the Jack does not. It's a very good whiskey, but we're dealing with some high hitters right here, some real heavy hitters. Yeah, Jeff, if you get through those recommendations and you have like a favorite or two out of that, I can make you a couple more. Give you some more wiggle room, some more ideas. Doesn't the Belle Meade comes off way fruitier than a 1790. So I moved on to the 1792 full proof. This is a barrel pick, but the Belle Meade is way fruitier. And the 1792, there's like a little banana on it maybe, but it's also like more brown sugary. I forgot how dry that was. 1792 is dry. It's really good though. It makes a great old fashioned. And it's great with ice in the summer. I think it opens up quite a bit with water. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Oh yeah, much sweeter. And my mouth doesn't feel like the Sahara after a sip with some water in it. Still sticking. Man, still sticking with that Bell Mead. It is holding up. I'm gonna have, so I'm using this glass that I had the Calumet Farms in that I was sipping on while I was getting ready. And using that as a dump glass. And when I'm done, I'm gonna have a glass of mixed barrel proof. And I will probably finish that with a cigar as the night progresses. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. How's the Olympic wrestling qualifiers going there, Jeff? I don't think I've ever cared enough about anything to watch qualifiers. Like racing or sports of any kind, anything. I wish I had. I wish I had. Oh, man. I don't know what distribution is actually like for Litchfield. I have no clue how many of you guys can get Litchfield Distillery whiskey where you're at, but all of you that can't are really missing out. This is so good. This is damn good whiskey. I don't know who you're talking about, but I honestly love that you care this much about it. And who doesn't love big drama? Missed weight. So he was like time late. He missed it by time and not like pounds. That sucks. I would be so mad at myself if I was just like too disorganized to beat a weigh-in on time. That's the worst. I bet his team feels real great about that. Man, that's so damn good. Yo, later, Jonesy. Have fun. Say hi to Twan for me. I feel like if they reverse the decision, they're opening themselves up to more drama, though, right? Because then it's like, are they bending the rules for somebody because he's special? Oh, for sure. I'd rather them bend the rules a little bit and then have a cool match to watch, right? Rules are boring. No one likes rules. It's a verifiable fact. No one. I wrestled for like a hot minute in high school, and I was terrible at it. I was like such a big fat dude, and I had no ambition to like really try. And so I was terrible at it. Let's get a little social media going. Gotta do the socials. Oh, what am I on now? Oh man, this is the heavy hitter face off right here. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof versus Litchfield Cash Strength. I gotta slow my roll on this Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. I do have a backup bottle though. Just saying. Ooh, we got Josh. What's up, Josh? I think... Alright, I'm gonna admit something horribly embarrassing here, Josh. I'm not sure which one is wrestling and which one is wrestling. I don't speak Texan that well. So in my head, at very first, I was thinking like WWE was wrestling, but then I like backed up in my head and convinced myself that if like you were thinking of wrestling, like Olympic wrestling as a bunch of good old boys doing it, then that could also be wrestling. And then I was lost. I was totally lost. My feeble brain could not handle the predicament you gave it. Backyard Brawls also definitely would qualify as wrestling. Hey Josh, I'm going to give you a sneak peek for tomorrow. For everybody who doesn't know, which is everybody but Josh, we're recording Film Appraisers tomorrow. So I moved the RE320 down here, and I'm going to try, I did a test recording today, sounded pretty good, so I think I'm going to make the bar my permanent podcast studio going forward. This roof mounted rail is the best thing I ever bought. It was the best $30 I've ever spent. I love it so much. Hey Dad, how's it going? I noticed, so maybe I don't know if it's, I feel like, especially with as busy as I've been and as tired as I've been, being forced to stand down here while I'm on mic gives me a little more energy, so I might not sound quite so horribly beaten down on the next show. I've been pretty self-conscious about how tired I sound on the last couple shows. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have. So I'm aiming to fix that. Extra coffee and a standing space to record in. I hope you guys can kind of hear the music so that when I'm bopping along to it, I don't just look crazy. Because I can hear it just a little bit and I'm jamming to it. Josh, you don't have to lie to me. I know you could tell how tired I was. I listened to them. I know how bad I sound. Ooh, I'm gonna fix it. This is actually a tougher A/B comparison than I thought it was gonna be. I honestly thought the Elijah Craig was gonna like take this by a lot, but the Litchfield's really close. I think the nose is definitely better on the Elijah Craig, but the palate's different. But it's hard to pick one. Oof. I think they're... Yes, that is the Elijah Craig from the last episode. Where did I put it? Yeah. So yeah, this is Josh. This is A121. Now I will say, I'm going to break it out. I'm going to do this a little bit. I am stretching this B520 so tight. I can't finish it though. I have a friend I promised I would let try a little bit of this. And I'm a man of my word. Here's the babyest pour of the B520, which the B520 was the first Elijah Craig I covered on the show. A121, man, is the latest one. And so the A121 is the second lowest proof they've done on Elijah Craig barrel proof, and it's 61.8. The B520 was 63.6. I think that was the fourth or fifth lowest. I think the highest percentage they did was 67 or something like that. The B520 is like toasted marshmallows and apple pie. B520 has a better nose by a mile. The A121's nose is really good, but the B520 is... the nose is fucking stellar. Yeah. The B520 is, it's like an elite tier whiskey for me. Man, it's good. Oh yeah, Jeff, that's right. Elijah Craig, their whole line is really good. I think the small batch can be, the small batch is like their $30-ish bottle. It can be a little boring after you've gone and explored a bunch of whiskey. It's very like right down home plate bourbon, but it is really good. Especially at $30. There are not a lot of whiskeys at that $30 to $35 price point that compete with it. The Old Forester is definitely better in my mind, but most of it's $20 more. So the barrel proof Elijah Craigs are between 60 and 80, and those are just magical. Those are magical bottles. Every one of them is good. Like, I'm talking about how much better the B520 is than the A121, but they're both like god tier whiskeys, right? They're so good. Gonna donate that 121 and enjoy this last couple sips of this B520. And polish off my banks. I'm a good adult, making responsible decisions. I know when the around the time the B520 episode came out, you were looking for some, Josh. Remember, you texted or messaged me a couple times from the liquor store looking for it. I would imagine right about now is when you would be able to find the A121, if you're going to be able to find it at all. The seasonal release for that dropped last month, I think, or the month, might have been January, but it just started showing up here. I just started seeing it here and there, a bottle here, a bottle there, in Connecticut. So I imagine out your way, it's probably about now also. You're about the same distance. Yeah, the barrel proof comes out 3 times a year, and there's usually like a small flood where you can find it a little bit here and there, and then it disappears entirely for 4 or 5 months, and then you get another little flood, and then you get it disappears for 3 or 4 months, and then you get another little flood, and so on. It's not super hard to find during those release windows, but it's almost impossible the rest of the year. But the small batch is still good. I mean, like, I know I say it can be a little boring, but small batch is good. I mean, if you like bourbon, you're gonna like the small batch. I do think with as close as those were, though, if I had to pick between Litchfield and the Elijah Craig stuff, I'd give the nod to Litchfield just because it's a small local distillery and the quality of the product's about the same. Price is about the same. Ooh, that barrel proof mix is interesting. I can't tell you how great it is to look over and see CPU usage 2% instead of CPU usage 98%. Ooh, 1.8%. Really pushing it over here. No drop frames. No problems. Oh, man, it feels good. Excusez-moi. All right, I have to step off camera for a moment. It's gonna be like 30 seconds though. All right, so I will be not even less than that. We'll say 15 seconds. I'll be right back. See, that was quick. See how quick that was? Lightning fast. Borderline Flash-esque. Any of you guys been watching Falcon Winter Soldier? You guys see today's episode? I really can't stand Wyatt Russell. What's his name? Jack, why can't I think of his last name? U.S. agent there, Jack whatever. I don't know, Bobo fake ass Captain America. Jack. Damn it. That's gonna drive me insane. What is his name? All right, I can't. That's why I couldn't think of it. John, not Jack. That's why. John Walker, that's right. You still doing that, so you're still doing that Marvel watch through with her? Is she taking to it more? That is such a good movie. Like, I genuinely don't. I think it's. I will die on the hill that that is the best Marvel movie there is. Winter Soldier is such a good movie. That's a hill I'd be happy to die on. I had a relatively animated discussion a few months back about this actually. And it's a reasonable argument, but apparently there are people that think Ragnarok is the best MCU film, which I could sort of support, and there are some that say Endgame is. Um, I couldn't get behind Endgame. Endgame was really impactful, but I think it's got a lot of problems as a film that get dismissed because it had 10 years of films feed it. If that was a standalone film, I don't think it would hold up very well. Ragnarok I can get behind. Ragnarok is fun in a way most of the Marvel stuff isn't. I'll give it that. But I don't think it's necessarily good. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's very good, but it's not necessarily better than Winter Soldier. Like, it's more of a fun, it's like a more of a comedy, right? Like, I don't know. Winter Soldier's like a badass Bond movie, 70s spy thriller kind of feel, but with superheroes mixed in. It's freaking rad. All right, brother. Have fun with the family. I will be getting up bright and early to watch our film tomorrow, but I'll be ready for you. Enjoy. I will say, I go through these like whiskey phases where like I'll go through a high proof phase or a peaty scotch phase or a bourbon phase or what, you know, a rye phase, what have you. And I really think I'm like getting into a really malty scotch phase. I don't know, like I just had a I'm just kind of coming out of a really peaty phase. I mean, obviously I still like the peated stuff, but I've been dipping way more into just like unpeated, really malty stuff. Like I've been digging some Glengoyne, Balvenie, obviously a great choice. Dipping into some like Speysides or Highlands, a little bit sweeter, a little easier, not so challenging. I don't know. Maybe it's because I think maybe it's like a direct correlation with being like a little more passive with it, right? Like I've been a little tired, been a little busy, and I've been a little more passive with the whiskey stuff and a little less like adventurous, aggressive with it. Maybe that's playing in. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm loving all this cask strength. I love it all, but like I was having some Glengoyne 18 yesterday, and it was just hitting the spot, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know when you have those meals or drinks that just seem better than they should be, just hitting the spot, right? This isn't like hitting the spot. It's good, but it's not. Like if I was to go with, let's rinse one of these. I don't know, what should I go with? Well, like Longmorn would be great right now, but I don't want to destroy that. I mean, we'll just get a little bit of Balvenie 12 double wood here. Also, by the way, if you haven't ever had the pleasure of pouring from a Balvenie bottle, the best pouring bottle that's ever existed. It doesn't really drip, pour. It's very satisfying. I know it's a crazy thing to rant about, but it is very satisfying. Oh man, that smells good. Got a little bit in my mustache. That cereal maltiness. fruity, honey. It's just not. I go through bourbon phases, but bourbon really has like 7 flavors for the most part. 7 or 8 flavors for the most part, and that's kind of it. That's really good. Of course, now I have even more poured whiskey to deal with. Whatevs. Whatevs. I do think it's tougher to pair barrel-proof whiskeys with cigars. You need like a really strong. This is not a full-bodied cigar, and this whiskey is blowing out the cigar. Like I can almost not taste it. But the Balvenie, I think, would be a really great combo for this. So for those of you watching now or the on demand, the VOD, we had Mike on for the guest. What was that? 3 or 4 ago? Maybe it was more. I don't even know. 3 or 4 ago, I think. I think it was 3. Did you like the format with a guest more? Do you like just hanging out, a little more casual, chit-chatting, just me and you guys? I tend to like having a guest, but it's tough to book Friday nights, and really I can't do like any other nights. I mean, occasionally I can do Saturday or whatever, but like can't do weekdays. So it's harder to get guests on Fridays, but I could do it if you guys like that format a lot more. I could find it. Just let me know. We're coming up on, so like they opened up vaccines to anybody 16 or older here in Connecticut. Kind of now, I guess. I think technically it's supposed to be the 5th, but you can register now. So there's a potential future very soon with like in-person Barrel House Lives, which I am very excited for. Like very excited for. I think, oh, you know, I meant to do this at the top of the show, but I didn't really. I mentioned the Patreon came up, but I got derailed because I'm bad at this. But, so, you'll see why I got this. So my buddy Greg was mentioning, you know, maybe doing a thing down here, or remote if we have to, but, and he was the first whiskey legend on the Patreon, so I'm gonna shout him out for being the first whiskey legend. I'm gonna shout Cab Connor out for being the first Patreon period. Gonna shout my mom out for being the second patron ever, and I'm gonna shout out Jonesy for signing up today. Really blown away by how fast. I mean, I got, I don't know, 5 or 6 patrons in like the first week. Awesome. I expected to have 1, maybe 2. So thank you. If you want to support the show, you can do that. Jonesy put it in chat earlier, but that is at patreon.com/barrelhouse, or if you go to barrelhousepodcast.com, there's a link. Goes a long way. You know, it's short sales pitch here for those of you if you want to do it. You do get, depending on your tier, you can get early access to the episodes or exclusive content, things like that. So in the future, the shows have been coming out on Sunday. In the future, patrons will continue to get it on Sunday. Those of you who are not patrons will start getting it on, I think, Wednesday is what I set. Won't be Sunday anymore. But there's also going to be exclusive content. Depending on your tier, there's different levels of exclusive content, whatever. Also, we talk about all this whiskey. You guys have heard me talk about this whiskey. It's not like $2 an episode, you know? It gets expensive, and I love doing it, and I'm gonna keep doing it regardless. I said this on the last episode, and I announced it. I'm gonna be doing this forever. Like, I have a lot of whiskey here. I have a passion for it. I love talking about it, but you know, signing up with Patreon helps me go to distilleries or, sorry, my back. Oof. Go to distilleries or get crazier bottles or whatever. Cover, you know, there's a tier on there that allows you to choose a bottle for me to review I think it's every couple of months, every 6 months, whatever it is, depending on what tier it is, which you could use to be like, hey, go buy this really great bottle and review it. Or you could, if you wanted to, be like, I want you to review the most bottom shelf ass bullshit ever and make me do that. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. There's no limitations on the quality, just availability. If I can't get it, I can't review it. But other than that, so that's a thing. I meant to thank all those people at the top of the show, but I didn't because I'm bad at this. They will be thanked at the top of the next episode, though, so I won't mess that up, I promise. There was one other thing I wanted to mention with Patreon, but I forgot what it was. Oh, if you do sign up, you might have to bear with me a little bit for the first couple of weeks to figure out the platform, just kind of in general, right? It's one of those things where it's hard to play with, like figure out posting content and all that stuff until you start doing it, like until it's live. Like there's no like practice mode or tutorial really, so there's gonna be a learning curve. I'm gonna be doing some learning curving, so bear with me as best you can. I don't think it should take more than 1 or 2 episodes to get it all figured out, though. If you do have any problems, though, hit up the Patreon or hit up the Gmail, barrelhousepodcast@gmail.com, and let me know what problems you found, if you found some. I do really like a medium-bodied cigar with a scotch. Any whiskey really, but this barrel proof is really blowing out the cigar. It's like it's not even there. It's like warm air. Warm air. This like dump glass with all the barrel proofs in it is so strange. Most, if not all, of the like aggressive fruitiness from, or I shouldn't say fruit and sweetness from like the Bell Mead and the Litchfield is gone. There's a lot of wood. There's a lot of alcohol. A lot of the pepper is there. I actually still can find that chocolate, that waxy chocolate from the Elijah Craig, but it's amazing how much of it cancels out. It, you know, it speaks to how much skill is involved in being a really good blender. What's his name? John Glacier, right? The Compass Box guy. I think he's John Glacier. Yeah, John Glacier. Look at that. Me knowing a fancy whiskey now on the top of my head. The Compass Box dude. He's the master blender over there. He is. I've had maybe like 12 different Compass Boxes, 10 or 12, and they've all been fantastic. Meanwhile, you know, Johnny Walker is all kind of fine, right? That's also blended. Monkey Shoulder is great for $28, but it's nothing to really write home about. It's tough to blend. You blend the wrong two, and they cancel out. The sweetness goes away, or they get overly tannic, or it's crazy what happens to whiskey when you mix them. I mean, I'm not going to, but I could put all of this Balvenie and all of this cask strength and have, you know, a pretty solid sized pour, and put like 4 drops of an Isla in there, and it would be super. It would just be smoky. It would be overpowered with smoky. Same thing with rye. You could put a little bit of rye in there, all spice. Right? There's certain things, you know, you can really ruin a blend in like 2 seconds. Just a couple of drops, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna put the Balvenie in here. Actually, screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right? Why not? Let's mix that around a little bit. We'll taste it first. We'll drop a couple of drops of Isla in there and see what it gets. That's actually a drastic improvement. I added a bunch of sweetness back to it. Now let's grab I don't have much of that. Oof. Yikes. We'll use Lafroy. I am low. All these, you could tell I went through a peated phase because all these peated whiskeys are real low. Now watch, I don't know if you can see this. Let's maybe you can see this a little bit better. I'm not gonna put much in here. Oh. One little splash. You can smell that. Let's let that let that Yeah. Well, it is pleasant. It is smoky. It is definitely, even with a cigar mouth, it is noticeably smoky. But it's not horrible. It's not overpowered. It was a very small amount, but it is clearly smoky. I like it. This is a weird blend. It's a weird mix. It's a weird flavor. It's a real weird flavor profile. The nose is crazy. The nose is crazy on this. It smells like rubber and a fruit basket. It's a fruit basket and rubber. It's very high proof. That Lefroy is also cast strength. So it's just basically straight booze. Ooh, it's hot. I like it. All right. This may require a couple drops of water. I'm gonna try it. Whoop. Let that marinate. Let that marinate a little bit. Hang out, blend a little bit, do his thing a little bit. Ooh. That got floral. That's weird. That got floral with a little water in it. Smells like a bouquet. Yeah, I wonder if this will fit in a Glen. We're gonna find out. Yep, perfect. That's a perfect Glen pour. Look at that. It's floral. It's got that cereal maltiness from the Lefroy and the Belvini. What is that? It's got a weird, like, grapefruity thing going on, maybe? I don't know. It's really good. I actually like that quite a bit. That's a weird blend. When I say it's really good, I should say it's really interesting in a fun way. I don't think I would ever try to remake this, but it's like a good exploration kind of deal. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Not the worst blend I've made, not the best blend I've made, but I like it. Well, I think we're gonna call it here. The next stream will be, look at this calendar here, the 16th. I don't know what time, probably around 8:30. I'll update you guys on the podcast and on the website. Website is barrelhousepodcast.com. You can also find the show at igloomedia.com/whiskey. You can find the Film Appraisers, the other show I do, at eargomedia.com/thefilmappraisers. You can hang out and chit chat with me and all the other hosts at eargomedia.com/discord. Support the show at patreon.com/barrelhouse. Trying to think of what other plugs I'm supposed to have. I think that's most of the plugs, right? That's like all the plugs. I appreciate everybody stopping by. It was fun. I'm thinking next week of trying the blind again, but maybe I'll do like I'll pick 10 similar whiskeys and let you guys choose, pick a number 1 through 10, kind of like last time, without necessarily just opening up to anything, because last time I did the blinds it was a little too easy to pick what was what. So I think maybe I'll do that next time. But if you have any preferences, let me know in the comments if you want to see a Scotch blind, a bourbon blind, a rye blind, or if you want to see a face-off between peated whiskeys or whatever, a comparison between whatever. Let me know if there's something that you would want to see. Other than that, just thank you for your support. That's all I got. I will see you all in a week for the podcast, 2 weeks for the next live stream, and I appreciate you all stopping by. Take care.